Good evening. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for rocking out with me, being patient, having grace. I know I'm super late. A whole lot has happened, but give me a moment, guys. I'll be right back. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Happy weekend. Hope all is well with everyone. It's 9 p.m. and I guess maybe I should just start sending this stream a little bit later versus 8. Maybe it should be 9. So again, I didn't really get a chance to make it on time, but I'm here. Better late than never, right? So I am going to be talking about polygamy tonight. Polygamy, polygamy, polygamy. In 2022, there's a lot going on, but before I give us any details of tea, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really hope you do that. Takes nothing but one finger click to press like and subscribe, and it is that's just pretty much it. So I do have a guest that wants to join tonight. My homegirl wants to join in. I'm going to definitely share the link pretty soon. I'm gonna give her a moment to see if she's ready for me because again, you guys been waiting for me patiently. So I'm gonna definitely make sure I send her that. She's texting me now. So again, hit that like button. Definitely hit that like button. Tonight we're talking about polygamy. There's so many different terminologies and understandings for, you know, what a relationship consists of, what a marriage consists of, and so much more. So again, good evening, Mr. Negron. How are you? Hope all is well. Thank you for popping into my live. I really appreciate you having grace and showing up. Thank you so much. So I'm going to just send her the link right now so she can know that I'm live. Let her know I'm ready. And for everyone else as well, I will drop the live link at some point today. Good evening, Golden Goddess. How are you? Because I definitely want people to share their viewpoints and, time in, chap in if that's what they feel they want to do. And again, teach his own. There's no judgment here. Again, this is something that I'm not necessarily into per se, but I know a lot of people may be into this per se. And you know what? We can't judge. It's 2022, life, marriage, sex, trends. The world is so different now with monkeypox and COVID and all this other stuff that's going on. So everyone is going to have a different opinion or view on different things, and I'm not going to be naive and think, oh, well, that's not right. That's not accurate. It's not always like that. So for you guys out there who's watching live right now, do you guys even know about polygamy? Do you know anyone who practices polygamy? Is it something totally crazy to you? Have you done any research on it? Let me know. I feel like, again, we all do something different. We have different experiences, our environments, our households has definitely molded and shaped it and shifted some of us to be like, okay, this is what I saw in my household growing up, or this is what I'm into, or this turns me on, or this turns me off, and I want to do this, that, and the third. And everyone has the option to do that. So again, that's why we're talking about polygamy tonight, because again, there's different viewpoints on it. What works for me doesn't work for you, vice versa, et cetera, et cetera. We got a lot of celebrities out here showing us that, every marriage is different, it's what you make it, and what some people find about, other people don't, so it's all good. I personally don't think that polygamy would be something I would want to participate in. But again, you don't know what you don't know, and you grow over time. As you get older, your wants changes, your needs changes, your desires changes, and shit happens. So I'm looking at the chat right now. I have a few people got some comments in the chat. Good evening, Golden Goddess. Good evening, Jose Negron. Good evening, everyone watching who I don't know who you are because you haven't said anything in the chat and you're not saying anything. Good evening to you guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of that. Thank you guys for being here. So Golden Goddess says, I have a friend who used to do it. She's over it now. She's Somalian. It's normal in her culture. You see, over here, I feel like it's not normal, but it's something people do, time to time behind closed doors. We don't really know about it. So very interesting. I also wanted to talk about this topic too, because I feel like people kind of confuse this topic in this situation with having an open relationship or being a swinger. And I don't want to really get into all that tea because it could be confusing. Good evening, Rakeem. How are you? I got to send you my number so you're not just texting me through IG. But I want to be down for your show when you do that show on the music. I'm definitely here for all of that. So yeah guys, I want to make sure that we touch base on it because I feel like we all have different viewpoints of it. I don't think polygamy is the same thing as having an open relationship or the same thing as being in a swinger relationship. I feel like this is all very different, you know. Again, just like the LGBT community and all the new terms and forms of traits and characteristics of what they do, you know, in that community. No disrespect, I love gay people and, you know, the whole community. Like, I have no issues. I have relatives, sisters, aunts, cousins who do the damn thing. So, you know, again, no judgment. It's very interesting to know about, very interesting to hear about. So I definitely want you guys' opinions and viewpoints as well, because, you know, I can be naive and closed-minded. My mom is definitely not into stuff like that. As far as I know, my dad wasn't into stuff like that, but I do have some female cousins who was into all kind of stuff like that, you know. So I know it gets down in the DM, it gets dirty, and, you know, what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors, and, you know, we all like something different. So in the chat, are y'all into polygamy? Are y'all straight up on some monogamy kind of level? Are y'all into, you know, the lifestyle of swinging and open relationships and polygamy? Are y'all here for any of that? Again, I'm gonna definitely drop the link to the chat soon. Shout out to the 5 people watching. Ow, I'm loving it. Here for that hot shh. Yes. Thank you guys for, like, you know, chiming in and joining in with me. But hello, Ramon. How are you? Thank you guys for showing up, showing me love. I really, really appreciate it. Hope you guys caught my AM live workout this morning on Instagram. And if you didn't, it's all good. I definitely had an issue with my live this morning for some reason. I tried to pull up my workout program on the live screen and it disconnected me twice. So Instagram only caught maybe 30 minutes of my workout this morning. But this morning I did killer app workouts, and that's what it was about. So yes, guys, I see you guys in the chat already talking about how you feel about this topic. So I'm like, yes, you know, I see some of you saying nope, monogamy, nope, polygamy, you know, hey, it's all good. I just want to be able to, you know, chime in with you guys and talk about it. So I do see my guest has popped in, and I definitely want to bring her up on the stage for you guys to meet her. Her name is Danielle. She's my sister, soul sister. We're both Taurus twins. She used to work in the local with me and Jose Negron. She's a great friend, and she loves this topic, and I want to have her here. Like, when I think about topics for Wine&Facetime, she's the person I walk into like, hey, girl, so what do you think about this topic? And, like, can you educate me a little bit? Because, you know, not trying, you know, talk, you know, shit, but, you know, she's mature, you know, she's sexy, she's sassy, you know. So we talking, all girls talk, you know. So without further ado, I'm gonna drop the link to the stream because I got my hour late and y'all rocking out with me. I got 5 people watching. Thank you for that shit. So the chat is lit. Y'all all talking. So thank you guys. I'm gonna drop the link to the stream. I'm gonna add my homegirl in here as well, and you guys can rock out and join the screen as well. So I'm about to drop the link to the show right now in the chat, and I'm gonna bring Danielle in. And if you guys want to join, you can do that. I think I can only let 6 of y'all at a time because I'm not paying. So without further ado, here is my homie.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
I'm wonderful, wonderful.
Everybody, this is Danielle. She's been on the platform before. I think she was on a platform where we discussed losing our virginities, I think. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely hook you up with the stream she was on. But she's appeared in a stream before with Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. So the girls are out there. Yes, love them. Pretty, nice. Ow, ow, ow.
You know.
So I have other people wanting to join too, but I'm going to give you a moment to speak. You know, anything you want to drop right now since we're talking about this topic before I start adding other people?
I just want to make sure people know the difference. I know we're talking about polygamy, right?
Yes.
Polygamous relationships. And I think people get that confused with bigamy. So not to like bring in other things, but I just want to make sure like it doesn't veer off into bigamy because they're so closely related. And I just wanted to make sure people know the difference.
Right, right. You see, and this is why Danielle is here. This is exactly why she's on this show for today. So I have Jose Negron also in the green room, and I want to pull him up too. Danielle, you got people commenting in the chat saying hi to you. So if you can see the chat, please show love to people. They're saying hi, whatever the case is. So
I'm sorry, I was looking in a private chat.
No, look in the public chat.
Golden Goddess, hey.
She's been teaching me mad stuff. She's a queen. She's out here. She's been super helpful to me. So, Golden Goddess Danielle, nice to introduce you guys.
Well, thank you.
Good
And a nice little
evening.
introduction. Hi, Jose.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So,
So how?
Jose, how
Yeah.
are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I just resting from um my trip to ASME. I participated in the ASME convention. I had a blast over there.
I heard about that.
Nice. I
Yes,
saw all the YouTube videos. It looked like a good time.
yes. And I also gained 4 more subscribers during the week.
Nice.
Okay, I got somebody trying to join the chat, join the screen. The person name is L. I don't know who L is. So L, can you tell me who you are? Danielle, do you know L? No?
No.
Okay, so
You
L,
know
tell me
what?
who you are.
I would okay. I would suggest that when it comes to L, you ask him this to come up, um, because it could be a troll.
Right. So L, can you show me your face so I can acknowledge you? Would love to let you join, but I want to make sure you're here for the right reasons, you know? So you turn your screen on or tell me something. I see
Oh,
some.
yes. I know who Elle is.
You do? Okay.
Yes. He's
Okay.
just watching.
Just watching. So he doesn't want
Yeah.
to be on the stream or he wants to be on the
No,
stream.
no. Just watching.
Okay, no problem. So he can just definitely see the YouTube link. I'll send you the link by text. You can just forward him the link to the channel
Okay.
itself.
Okay.
Okay, but Jose, I want to definitely get your opinion on polygamy. That's what we're talking about tonight. Any views, comments?
Okay.
One moment.
Yeah. I do know for a fact that there are some people that are into polygamy. I'm not happen to be one of those people. I think for those who are into it, what they need to do is to be honest from the get go. That whoever they're gonna get with, let that person know they are into polygamy, and then it'll be up to the person to say yay or nay the subject.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where did she go? Oh, she walked away. So first, I just wanted to open up with people knowing the difference between polygamy and bigamy, first of all. So
Okay.
with polygamy, because they're both multiple partners, marriages, right? It's just that polygamy is more spiritual or whatever. Like it's it's more religious, if you will. And those marriages are not legal with polygamy, but with bigamy, they are legal. So like if I'm married and then I go to another state and then marry you, Jose. Now I'm a bigamist because now I have two, licenses. Two, you're my husband, that's my husband. That's illegal. I mean, polygamy is illegal, but bigamy, you're gonna go to jail for that. So I just want people to
Yeah.
know the difference. Wanted people to know the difference between the polygamy and bigamy. And I agree with you. I think that you want to be in a polygamous relationship, you need to discuss that with your partners. Some people love it. Hey, I'm not with it, but
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
Oh my God.
Neither.
I'm sorry I ran off like that. I just have some exciting news. I don't want to cut you off. Like, I have baby tadpoles in my fish tank. Like, I've produced baby fish and I didn't even know it. Like, I was like, oh my God, we got baby fish. But please keep going. Keep going. Sorry about that.
I think some people get pulled into a polygamous lifestyle that they wouldn't have ordinarily chosen for themselves, but they're so in love, in lust, infatuated with that person that that's something that they accept.
Yeah.
It's immediately no for me. Immediately no. So you want me to be in a relationship? So my man got me and somebody else, and he's rotating us? Like absolutely not. Mm-mm.
Oh,
Ain't for
I
me.
mean, could you imagine the conflict that could be involved? Let's say for the sake of argument, okay, I'm in a relationship with you, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna get into a relationship with KFIT. Could you imagine
Mm-hmm.
the conflict that will be between you two ladies? Because one night I'll be
Absolutely.
with you, and then another night. I mean,
It's too
that's
much.
the yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why, when it comes to stuff like that, you have to be um, straightforward. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people are doing streams tonight. I mean, first of all, you have the 18th letter doing the stream. You have Don Armando doing another stream in a few minutes. And then we have another stream by another YouTube creator known as Multiracial Movement. So,
Oh my God. Well, thank you for being here with me despite all these people who are having streams because I know they're more seasoned and finessed than I am. So appreciate you, hugs and kisses for being with me for a couple moments. I appreciate you so much, Jose. You know that I really do. So if you got to jump out, I get it. But if you want to bless us with jewels and tea, you can do that as well. I definitely heard some of the comments you made with Danielle. And it's everywhere, because at the end of the day, P Valley, for example, everyone doesn't watch P Valley, but it's opened my eyes to a whole different way of life with sexuality and LGTB and men and gay and strippers and all this. And I love the show. Great content, respect to the entire community. But I say all that to say polygamy and monogamy, all those things transpire in the show. And I have family members and friends who indulge in this lifestyle, swingers and everything. So that's why I wanted to do this stream. It definitely hit home. And I was listening to a podcast recently too.
well, it's amazing. And again, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. It's very important that you do are straightforward. The last thing you want to do is hide it from your significant other.
I want to
Okay.
acknowledge the chat. Golden Goddess is saying a lot in the chat. She says, I tried to breed fish. It didn't work. It gets desperate or it will be for the money. And she says, Jose is going to reschedule a stream, but I meant my stream. Sorry, my host is really excited because we can't believe this happened. So excuse the background noise. Everyone is super hyped. This happened just now. But yes, for sure. Danielle, anything else you want to add? I feel like you know a little bit more too. You were saying something more, you and Jose, but I just jumped in and cut y'all off. I don't want to cut y'all off.
It's cool. I was just saying that people should know the difference between polygamy and bigamy. And big polygamy is more like a religious type thing, and people with multiple wives, but they're legally married to one person and spiritually married to however many women they're with. But bigamy, your ass going to jail for that. And that's like if Jose and I were married in New York, and then you and Jose go to California and get married, and y'all have a marriage certificate. Like, that's bigamy when you're legally married to two people, and technically, like, the second marriage wouldn't count, but you got papers. Polygamy is not like that. So that's the major difference between the two. But
And to be sorry.
mhm, go ahead.
And to be fair, if you're going to be in a polygamous relationship, uh, for the guy or for you got to be able to make that you can maintain two women, because just the fact of the matter is, you know it's only fair. Like, for example, if I was to get into, let's say I'm married to you, Danya, and I decided to have K-Fit as a concubine, so to speak. Not only am I
Mhm.
gonna have to like afford you, I'm
Concubine.
gonna have to afford. I'll have to afford K-Fit as well.
Yep. And not to cut you off, but when I thought about doing this topic, first off, I was inspired by this topic because I was listening to a podcast on Apple on the iPhone. It was called the Single Friends Club, and they touched base on all of this. And they pretty much said, just like you're saying, Jose, you got to be mature, you got to be open, you got to have the conversation, you got to set your boundaries, what you want, what you don't want. There should be no jealousy in it, and it's beneficial for certain people. Certain people feel like this is beneficial. So, for example, although I'm not down with this, but in my older years, maybe I will be down, or my spicier, sensational moments, I may be interested in something like this, but right now I'm not. But some people feel like this is helpful because it takes less pressure and work off of some of the partners when there's an additional person to make up. So, for example, if you're the husband and Danielle and we're your wives, Danielle may cook better than me. And, you may feel like, okay, Danielle's going to be the wife that's going to cook me all the meals. But Cachelle's the one that, I'm going to do my business with or invest with, or she's going to be my pillow talker woman, or she's going to be the woman I'm going to just, have babies with, So it sounds like there's a purpose when it comes to these different type of relationships. Like everyone serves a purpose. So any views or points on that?
Absolutely. You just got to be down for it. You know what I mean? There's plenty of, like, I love watching documentaries, and I saw one, forget the name of it, where this woman, she was just the friends, and the wife was like, okay at first, but then it's like, now she in the bed with them, and she's like, well, wait a second, where's she come from? First of all, like Jose said, like, you have to be open about that. You can't just be sneaking nobody up in my bed. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? We're not doing that. But it definitely is a purpose. Not all the time, though. Some men are just nasty and they're greedy as hell. And it's not like they treat one woman better than the other. Some situations I've heard of where maybe the wife was terminally ill and they never had kids or whatever, and she just wants her husband to be happy, so he enters into this other relationship and brings the woman into the home, and that's the person he's going to have a future with, but he doesn't, but he's still with his wife's still alive. It could be something like that. But I agree with you. There's most of the time there's a purpose for things like that. And I'm not sure in our community, with POCs, if we really practice a lot of polygamy. I just feel like they just call it cheating. I mean, it kind of is polygamy. But the other people are more open, and be like, yeah, like, this is my wife, and this is my wife, or this is my wife, this is my girlfriend, that's my girlfriend, that's my boyfriend. Like, it's just a lot going on with polygamy.
Could you see yourself in that life, Jose, for beneficial reasons such as things we're talking about?
I don't see it, Jose.
No, not really. Okay, now the funny thing, I come from a family of men that happen to have a very interesting fancy with the ladies. I mean, that's just
the Hispanics. I hear about them. We love y'all though.
But that's not me. If I have to pick between you, Danielle, or you, K-Fair, I have to pick one. I'm not gonna do both.
Absolutely. My man is not doing
what?
that.
You don't hear me? Both 2 chocolates?
Nah, we not. I'm not even gonna let him do no shit like that. Nah, absolutely not.
Respectful.
I am not sharing anything. See,
and
I don't have a problem.
You guys know what you want. A lot of people, I feel like, go with the flow. Like, oh, it's experimenting.
No, I don't have a problem with we all human, and we all have eyes, and you might be attracted to somebody. Somebody might walk by and be like, oh my gosh, she's cute. You might be like, yo, she's cute. Or I might be like, damn, he looks nice, he's put together, or whatever. But you're not about to be like, we're gonna bring her back home. Like, that's immediately no. Like, absolutely not. I am not sharing anybody with anybody. And if that's something that you want, if I have to share you, that means that you're not for me, so you can go on your way.
Yep. Jose, I know you want to say something. What you want to say?
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter, I mean, I look at it, this is the way I look at it. I mean, um, one woman should be enough. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Now, let's say, okay, and it's also a mutual thing. Let's say I'm in a marriage with Danya. Okay, if
Hi,
I'm taking,
Ramon. Sorry to cut you off, Jose. I see Ramon joined. I want to say hi, introvert Bariqua.
Hello, guys. How you doing? Thanks, Casey,
how,
for letting me in the panel. Hey, Daniel,
Of
Miss
course.
Daniel.
Hi.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
hi, welcome
Wonderful.
to the Golden Sphere.
No,
No,
no, no, no.
Welcome.
Don't start. Don't start with that. Don't start with that. Okay, you were in the middle of saying something, guys.
yeah, Jose
I'm
was
sorry.
responding to Danielle. He was responding to Danielle regarding how he is not about this life of sharing, I think. So
Yeah.
continue, Jose.
Yeah, I mean, that's like as I said before. Part of it of being in a monogamous relationship is that first of all, I'm concentrating on pleasing one female. Okay, if I concentrate on pleasing Danielle, hopefully she's going to be concentrating on pleasing me.
Right. Because more than one person to me is just crowd. It's a crowd. Like it's too much. I can't focus on it. It doesn't turn me on for, and I'm not just talking about, it doesn't turn me on to be in a relationship with two people. That's number one. So imagine now we're about to have sex, and then I gotta watch my man have sex with somebody else and I'm just standing there like looking and shit. That don't turn me on. Somebody it's gonna be a problem. Do you understand? Like we're not doing that. I am not.
No,
I can't do that. I don't want nobody watching me have sex. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
shit,
the part
boring.
I'm not brave enough about. I don't know in that moment if I'm like this. Oh, he just enjoying him. He just stroking away, and oh, he don't make that face. I don't know if I could deal with that. It made his face may look like a face that I can't give, and I may be jealous. Like, you know what? Party over. Party
Immediate
over.
Immediately no, because I feel like men and women are a little different when it comes to emotions. Like the physical act of sleeping with somebody is a very deep emotion that you're sharing with that person. Like you're passing energies between two people, and then you're bringing a third party in, and that person energy could be all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But more than that, it's just too much. Okay, it's just too many damn people in a scenario. And if I love my boyfriend, my husband, whomever he is, and I'm sleeping with him, that connection should just be between us. Like, how are you giving somebody else the same connection that you're giving me? Like, I can't handle that. I
True.
don't know how somebody else could. And with the emotion side, females like we latch. I'm sorry, I don't care what no female says. We latch.
If it's
Men
good stuff too,
Men, right. And so women could really just be like, oh, I'm a hit it and quit it. I could do a threesome, blah, blah, blah. No, men can fucking be like, all right, yeah, yeah. We tend to get emotionally attached. So that comes into play with polygamy. Like it's just too much. Somebody gonna get slapped, somebody go to jail. Like it's too much going on.
If I could add something really quick before
I have
Yeah,
to, guys, just want to send a shout out to the 18th letter in Montana Wags. Hi, how are you? But Ramon, please go ahead. I wanted to say hello to them. That's all.
well, I'm about to make you guys mad at me because
Oh
I'm not gonna
no.
agree totally with you. So, as you know, and when it comes to the relationships between men and women, by nature, the way that we are wired, us men are not necessarily wired to only want to be with one woman for all of our lives. If you look into history, you can see examples of it around the world about how there were men, as long as they could afford it, as long as they could provide for them, they could have more than one partner. They could have more
Mm-hmm.
than one woman in their lives. Even in the
Mm-hmm.
Bible, you can find examples of men that had more than one woman in their life, and you could read about leaders and even kings. The most one of the most venerated kings in the Bible will be Solomon. How many
True.
women did he have? He had
Yeah.
1,000 women all to himself. And you can read about kings in Europe. You can read about the sultans. You can read about um, other monarchs in Asia that have several women because they could afford to have them. Yeah, I see Danielle shaking her head, but that's the history,
I'm
and that's
agreeing with you. I just don't agree with the fact that they did it. But yeah,
yeah, but
I know that.
that was because they were trying to ensure what is called legacy. That was one thing. They wanted to have legacy that came from their bloodline, and they could afford to do it, and they had it because uh, us men, we have this thing that we kind of need variety. I know, you guys are Christian, and you have the Western Christianity taught to you that teaches you that a man should only be with one woman. And the thing is that if you go back to where that comes from, you'll see that that was kind of like a matter of control, kind of like controlling people, because that the Romans the Romans were the ones that put that in place in Christianity. They were telling the majority of the people that they had to be monogamous, but it was by the same leadership that were practicing. They were the first LGBTs. They were doing all kinds of the. In addition with the deviancy, they were having sex with their animals. The same people that were telling the rest of the people to that they could only have one partner, but they were the same ones that could have they could have a wife, but they could have sex with their slaves because they were property. They were also having slaves with their animals because they were property. You see that there were exceptions that they reserved to themselves because they were the leader. They were in the positions of leadership, but they were telling the rest of the people that they had to be monogamous. Just yesterday, I was watching a program with this other YouTube content creator. Her name is Ali, and the channel is called Real Femme Sapien. And she was talking to this Muslim woman in the UK, and she was explaining. There was a part in the interview where they were explaining the whole thing about polygamy in Islam, and she was talking about how it is allowed for one man to have up to 4 wives as long as he could afford it. Because there is something that we need you to understand, ladies. You're not gonna like this. A man can love more than one woman at a time. A man can do that. By my own personal experience, I learned that years ago. It got me in trouble because that's not in the type of society that I live in that see it as okay. It's the same society as yours, but a man can do that. Women are
Well,
not
why
so
can the
capable
woman
of
do
doing that.
it?
No woman can do that. It's not the same with women. Women feel a strong connection, a strong
So we're more
enemy for
emotional.
one. No. Let me say this. Women connect more to the energy of one man, and they kind of like get focused on one man. It's more natural to only want
Security.
to be with one man because not only because of security, because of the emotional connection that they make with one man. It's easier for a woman to be only connected with one man. It's only in modern times when women want to do the same thing that men do, and it doesn't really work out so well for them. They think that they want to be for the streets. They want to be they want to be riding the rooster carousel because they think that they can do the same thing that men do. And the thing is, it doesn't affect men and women the same to be doing that. A man could be
That's
promiscuous.
true.
I know it doesn't sound fair. I know it doesn't sound right.
It's
But the
true
thing is
though.
that
I think it
when men
depends on the
can be
person.
promiscuous, that doesn't change who the man is. That because it's a physical activity, it's a physical release for the man. But if a woman is promiscuous, that has psychological, emotional, and psychological, emotional, mental effects, and physical too. It has several different types of possible consequences for the woman, and that's why women that are riding the rooster carousel a lot, they end up being kind of crazy. They're not reliable. They are too rebellious. They are too. They're not somebody that later a good man has to pick up and try to make her a wife, because it's not gonna work out. It doesn't work out. It just doesn't go like that. I know. You're about to yell at me. You're about to,
I want my
but
turn to get an option to
it's just
speak. I
in
want to speak
history. You can
too.
see.
So
Yeah,
I
it's just
agree
in
and I
history.
disagree
You
a
can
little
see
bit,
it.
but we all gonna speak. Thank you. I appreciate that. I respect that you are saying making a lot of facts about what was really true at one point in time with different cultures. So I'm gonna acknowledge that you are speaking facts. I do understand and have heard of what you are speaking about. Not that I 1000% agree with everything you're speaking about, but I
Yeah.
respect it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I acknowledge it, and I understand where you're coming from. I do have a few disagreements, but before I talk, I want everyone here who hasn't spoken to have an opportunity to speak. Anybody can speak. Anybody.
Okay. First of all, how are y'all?
Hi.
All
Hey.
right. Um. Okay. I had to pick some. I had to pick somewhere to start. Okay. So, I do agree with. I want to say 90% um of what was just spoken towards. Um. But there are a lot of things that go into the modern you, uh, um frame of what we're speaking of, because now we're in the information age, right? And it's a gift and a curse. um Sometimes too much information is just as harmful as the wrong information, or none. As in my opinion, and I feel like it's kind of a based opinion. So I'm really big on, please go back and fact check me, please. But what I would add to that, um, because when we talk about gender, um, emotions, and placement, it's a slippery slope. Because once again, we're in the information age, and people also, implement information as it pertains to them, their thought process, and their feelings. Um, what I would add to what was just said was, there has to be a certain level of comfort, trust, and all of those things go into security. Security is the best thing in the male female dynamic. In the absence of, creates all of the things that tear people apart, and push people away from each other. There are some women, because in all actuality, I'm very abreast of this situation. My eldest brother married his high school sweetheart. They were 3 years apart. They've been married since then.
Aww.
He graduated in 1996, got married in 2001, and now we all know today's current date. This was something that they tried to implement inside of their relationship after about, I want to say, maybe 10 years, give or take. If safe number would be 13 years. Um, and there were certain things that had to be in place to even entertain it. And that's why I'd even, kind of blurted out security. Security is everything when it comes to a male female dynamic. In the absence of, you can't even entertain polygamy with a partner, a trusted partner. If they don't feel secure, then they may feel like they're competing, with the other female. They'll look at them and, well, what does he see in her that he doesn't see in me? Then the woman will start questioning herself, and then be less of value, to the man as well as the relationship. There's a lot of, old time things like it takes a village to raise a child. That was the most beneficial aspect of polygamy outside of selfish desires, was that certain women coming from certain families with certain trades, lines of business, property, land, things like that. It was emerging. So that's why it takes a village to raise a child. All the women used to get together and cover all the bases because the affluent male was stretched too thin in between his responsibilities, tasks, and duties, being it position, being royal or regal, that he couldn't necessarily be as hands on with his children. So the women inside of the polygamous relationship would all come together and make sure that no stone was left unturned as it pertained to the children. Some women may be great in arithmetic. Some may be, great in teaching trades, sewing, knitting, things like that. So they would all come together, and the children would be multifaceted, so that they wouldn't have any road bumps and things in life. That was the most beneficial part back then. In the absence of these things all coming together and everything making sense, it's just how do you say, glorified or dignified gigoloism. Um, and sometimes it's a thin line in between, if you're doing this for your personal enjoyment, rather than implementing your resources as they pertain to advancing your bloodline, and your lineage. If it is not for that, then polygamy is not the way to go. And that's why it was restricted back in the day to only affluent people that could afford to do so, instead of taking away from what their children would get because they're not building a household. You have to build each household together, and they all have to coincide, and there can't be any blaring weaknesses or anything, because that's what you do. A lot of people, I guess the most modern representation of that is people, let's just say, two athletic people coming together and reproducing. And we see it actually in professional sports, like JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee, his mother was a very successful basketball player in her own right, and his father was as well. So once you put those two DNA tracks and range together, the likelihood of having another successful athlete is more probable, seeing that the genetics match up and things like that. So it was genetic matching. There was a lot of things that went into and that do go into successful polygamous relationships, that we have to be sure that we don't just make a gender uh, um, divide in between, positioning it. Like, everything has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, if one partner is leaning more towards no than the other, then it's absolutely not going to work. And I just think it's really, really important to understand what it was geared towards. And we do have old doctrine, and writings and teachings that do align with it. Um, that's it for now. I'm gonna let somebody else talk, but man, that's all I got for right now.
Thank you for the jewels and knowledge and the tea again. I'm not disagreeing with you or Ramon. I'm acknowledging I do understand and know of the prior information. But like you said, today's time's a little bit different, and you got to be mentally ready for that. But thank you for popping in my life. It was great seeing you. I appreciate you dropping that on us. And Rakeem, you quiet. I met Montana through you, so you better be speaking right now.
Can I just respond to Montana real quick?
Yes,
So, in terms of it takes a village to raise a child, like, I totally agree with where polygamy started, I guess, or well, what the dynamics of it was in terms of that specific aspect. But nowadays, it's not really about that. It's about people wanting to fuck more than one person, people wanting to be in relationships with more than one person, everybody just getting jealous. It's not but I understand what you're saying. I've definitely heard it before, and I agree with you to a certain extent. Like, I agree that was part of it. That's what it was based on at one point in time. But now I just don't feel like it's based on that. Everybody just want to fuck everybody, and that's a no.
It's some holes in this house. If you see them, pour them out.
Immediately no in my house. Immediately no.
Okay, if I could add something to that,
Yes, sir.
and um, I understand Danielle's concern. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you about it. If that's what works best for you, that's perfectly fine. It's just that,
Mhm.
as you yourself said, there are a lot of people that are kind of like the whole thing with the cheating, and there is a lot of people are already sharing. They're already sharing
Mhm.
partners. They're sharing.
Mhm.
Somebody who is
Absolutely.
significant, and we're living in a time where women are doing whatever they want, but they're not really. In the end, they're not really ending up happy. I mean, they're not getting any positive results. They want to be free to do whatever they want. They want to be liberated. But we're living in a time where women, modern women, Western women, are like the most miserable that they have ever been. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's working out so well for it. You can look it up yourself when it comes to the high rates of medication, women getting medicated for antidepressants. And that's usually these women that are supposed to be so free and liberated, that are supposed to be so happy, but they are the most miserable that they have ever been. That they have ever been. I mean, and that's kind of like an additional argument when it comes to having an open mind when it comes to polygamy. And I don't know about polyamory so much, but the polygamy involves more of an actual commitment, which I will be all for, and it will be something that is uh, talked about, discussed, agreed on, and there is the again a man that can afford it. Of course, the woman may be able to be a professional, and she will be somebody who has her own money and all of that. But as you know, as we all know, I think we can all agree that it's always expected for the man to be more of the provider.
The provider.
That's fine. That's fine. That's the way it's been throughout human history. I will agree with that. And I think it strengthens the argument for it when it comes to all of this craziness in the dating market, in the modern dating market right now. And I wanted to add one more thing, and I'll shut up. When it comes to the whole polygamy, I wasn't trying to make it about religion so much, because I mean, I have a friend who is from Kenya, and Kenya, from my understanding, is more of a Christian country, and he tells me that also men marrying more than one woman is actually fairly common there too. So it's not only like in Islamic cultures and nations, but there are other parts of the world that also practice it. And there are, and always remember, around the world, unless you are in certain places in the Middle East or in China, there are more women than men. I mean, if you pair every woman with every one man available, there are gonna be millions of women that are not gonna have a mate. So there is another practical reason why that could be considered. I know it's not for everybody, but I'm just giving you kind of like reasons, and trying to give you kind of like a outside of religion reasons, outside of religion, why it could be considered. I mean, if your religion doesn't allow it, that's okay. But I'm just saying that there could be an argument for it. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Thank
I
you.
just
Anybody else? I'm sorry, Danielle. I want to make
no
sure
no no.
if he wants to speak, I don't want to
Uh,
give him an option, you know. Or
Yeah,
Jose.
I'll speak. Yeah, I mean, I got to give a shout out to my boy Ramon and a shout out to my boy Montana Wax. They said pretty much they broken down everything from the synopsis, especially with my boy Ramon breaking down the history. I think like even with polygamy and bigamy and things of that nature, um, I know, a lot of us talk about it. For a lot of men, it's their fantasy and different things like that. But for us living realistically, a lot of us can't afford that type of lifestyle. So, like monogamy is something a lot of us was raised on here in the Western world because, like my boy Ramon said, we've been that's been instilled in us for generations. So, like when you even think of monogamy, you usually, even when you think of a relationship, you're usually thinking about like with one woman. I know you got men that cheat, you know, we do our thing here and there, some of us, but for the most part, you think about that person being that one that you're going to be with for the majority of your life, because that's how we've been raised to think. So for both, like what Ramon was saying, for some people that tend to work, but I don't know if I'll probably be the one that I don't think that'll work for me.
Okay, and that's fair. I think that I just want to put it out there that I'm not against polygamy or anything, because people are going to live how they want to live. It's just not for me personally. I can't be in a polygamous relationship. I do believe that it's just a cultural thing, maybe not necessarily now, but I think that's where polygamy stems from, like religious beliefs or whatever. But people push things, their beliefs on other people, like monogamy is right, polygamy is wrong. I don't care who you sleep with. If it's you like it, I love it. It just isn't for me personally. So I don't not agree with it. It's just it's people's preferences. Like all this projection of right and wrong. No, it's just my preference. Leave me alone. I'm not sleeping with you, so why you care? You know what I mean? Like,
And that's why I wanted to do this stream, because I feel like everyone has the right to do what they want. Again, I respect and understand and acknowledge the way tradition and cultures were in the past. I'm understanding of the present. And I wanted to get viewpoints from people to see how they feel, because again, no one knows what we do behind closed doors, what our significant others, side boyfriends, side girlfriends, spouses. No one knows. What you do in your house is what you do. No one knows unless you're telling it. So if you're not telling it, nobody knows what you're doing. So we all
yeah,
have different views on, how we feel about these topics. And there's no right or wrong. It's what you feel, what works for
it's
you.
your
Again,
preference.
you don't have to grow up and live the life your grandparents and your parents live. What you want to do with your spouse, partner, whatever, is what you want to do. Just like we have a kid. You don't got to raise your kid the way your parents raised you and your grandparents raised. No, you do how you want to do. You could follow that because it's a God print, it's a blueprint for you, but you don't have to. And the same thing with this conversation. We all can do what we do. Again, people cheat. So a lot of us are in polygamous relationships and we don't know it because we too dumb, or we too comfortable, or we're okay, or we don't want to know. It could be any
Yeah,
of those things. I heard Neo on the Breakfast Club saying, listen, if you see my wife out there in the streets doing her thing,
don't tell me nothing.
don't tell
Right.
me. I don't want to know. And I feel him, but I'm like,
Yeah, me too.
like,
Yeah,
because
Me
when you're
too.
doing things in the bedroom and you like, mentally you be like, all right, well, I don't want to do this if I think he's, you know, pretty much we
I
all
Wasn't
the reaction.
I just feel like
that
if
was a Mario Winans song. Remember that
I
back
just
in the
feel
day?
like if you're gonna cheat, just don't have me looking stupid in these streets. Like cheat undercover.
That's how
Like
we
don't
Out of
used
nobody
to
need to
do.
be
town.
in our
Cheat
business.
out of town, huh?
but that's the thing.
Or leave me alone. If I am not enough for you, if I cannot satisfy you emotionally, spiritually, physically, to the point where you don't want to look at anybody else because I overfill your cup and you overfill mine, then we don't need to be together.
Ma'am, may I ask,
Yeah,
was
but
that
you
based
take it
off
as
Personally, that's me.
no, well, I'm just asking for the basis. Like what got you to standing by that? Because the way you're saying it with conviction, as if it's unshakable. And somebody either accepts that or they have to let you go, right? That's what I took from it. It was your tone, right? So what got you to the point that you can stand firm on that, even if you feel as though, or even if everything else outside of what you stated showed you that that's your person? So you'll say, you know what, because I stand by this and my principles of how I feel you should view me and treat me, that I will uh, forfeit everything else that comes with you because we can't get by that. What's allowing you to, or does that allow you to let go of someone that awoken or spoke to your spirit like no one else has? But due to those circumstances, would you make an exception or not?
Make an exception in terms of other people and being in a relationship with multiple people because this one person does it for me.
Well, he does do it for you all the way around the board, except that he is firmly a believer in
Mhm.
polygamy as it applies to your relationships and the
Mhm.
others that he values.
I can't do it.
Have
Love
you
you.
Okay,
tried?
but you take it.
I'm not going to try because that's not something that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in sharing the person that I give my energy to with anybody else on a rotation. I'm not interested in that. I'm not Look, everybody's going to live the way they want to live, and I'm not against it for the people who love it. Hey, live your life. I just don't want to be put into that. You know what I mean? I'm not
Okay.
discriminating. It's not for me. I can love you, but if I find out that that's what's going on, I'm out.
But
That's just
what if
me.
you were in it the entire time? Like if everything was great, everything was blissful, it's like, hey babe, everything is dope. And I have to travel, here, for my 6+ figure job that's affording us this lifestyle and just making everything dope. And it's 6 months here. It might even be a red area. Maybe the business has you know dealings in Russia, right? So it's not the best thing for you to come move down here with me, 6 months out of the year, but all my I's are dotted, all my T's are crossed. We're great, open communication with everything. But when I'm on this side of the world, I have this going on. You would be more than welcome, to speak to her or answer any questions that you have. Your position is solidified. This is just this is a part of who I am. You would decline that, is what you're saying.
Yes, because money is not everything. That's not what
No, it's
drives
not
my
everything.
that's
It's
not
it's a
what
part
drives
of
my
it. It's a
soul.
part of it.
And I
Like
get
I'm
it.
saying, everything else is 100%. Everything else is 100%. I don't believe that you wouldn't. I don't believe that you would not at least think twice about forfeiting the relationship. Like I
No,
don't,
I
because
will not be in that relationship any longer, no matter how much it might hurt to leave. I am not sharing with anybody. And you cannot force me to be in the, not saying that it would be like,
Nobody's saying
not saying it would
enforcement.
be like force, but I
but
just
you
feel
can
like
die not knowing that you were forced to share as well. So,
absolutely. If I don't know what I don't know. But if I know, then I'm not going to do it because that's not something that I want to
Um,
do.
okay.
No, that's fine. It's just that because people are going
excuse me.
behind other people's back so much. I mean, that could be like a practical reason why that could be considered. I mean, if there is an agreement, but then there is no real cheating and betraying and
Because it's an
doing
agreement. But
somebody.
if I'm in
Yeah,
something that wasn't agreed upon, I'm not going to stay in it. I don't care how much money you
no,
have.
that's fine. That's fine. Two things that I wanted to add real quick.
Um,
There are also the
excuse me
Mormons that we forget.
if I can
Don't
jump
say
in
sorry.
because my Wi-Fi. It's just that my Wi-Fi is very choppy, so it's like I gotta try to take advantage of when I can speak.
No
Uh-huh.
doubt.
One
Go ahead, Jose.
thing that we lose focus on is the fact that, for example, Danielle may want to try to get a second husband, just like I want to get a second wife. So let's keep it, so let's keep it 100 on the subject. Now, the fact of the matter is, again, um, if if the situation where I'm not sufficient to Danielle to fulfill her needs, I mean, the best thing for her to do is just go with someone that does fulfill her needs. I mean, again, even though I come from a family when men are players, that's just not how I am.
But he was saying if all of my needs are being fulfilled, but my man is on the other side of the world 6 months out the year with someone else, can I stay there because I'm still being taken care of? But me personally, my answer is no, because I am not sharing with anybody. Now, if I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I don't know. So of course I will still be there. But if I know that is not something that I subscribe to, if that's who you know, what you want to do, live your life, just I can't be included in that because this is just not something that I want to do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We all can say what we do and do not want to participate in. The issue is some of us already in this. We don't know we're in it, but not this is not the topic of conversation specifically. It's just about polygamy in general.
Polygamy, yeah.
Again, we all have our needs, desires, what we want, don't want, what we grew up on, what we feel culture wise, what we should be doing. It's all understandable. And I wanted to get the viewpoints of everyone here. So I was like an hour late. And I do want to wrap this up. I know other people have other streams to go to soon. And I appreciate everyone's feedback and everyone's commentary. So I want to take closing comments or remarks at this point. Anyone want to sign off with your YouTube channel or anything you want to just drop on us before we go? We can do that right now. So anyone free to open up and say what they want. We're closing this out right now. Thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Really quick.
Okay,
Okay.
Go ahead, Ramon. No, go ahead, Ramon.
Yeah, really quick. Two things that I wanted to mention. There are also here in the United States, when it comes to the Mormons, that a lot of people forget about them. They might claim that they don't do the polygamy thing anymore, but we all know that's cap.
Yes,
So,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I was going there. Go ahead. You got it.
We know that they're still doing it. There was a whole show called Big Love in HBO that they were talking about that. The whole thing. I'm sure that
I
all of
watched
you
it.
know about it. Yeah. So it's happening. It's happening here, and for them it works. So I mean,
Because that's their preference.
Yeah. It works. It works for them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to change your mind, Daniela. I know that.
I know.
Nobody can talk to you about it because there is no getting nowhere with that with you. I get it. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just giving you another example. And the other thing is that you guys, KFIT, if you are interested and if you know who our friend Viva Bella by Extina is, there is a live stream that she did sometime last year, I believe it was. I suggested to her this very subject, and she made a stream out of it. So if you can go to her channel and look towards her video library. There is a video about this very subject. So
okay, I will do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And with that, KFIT, I appreciate you letting me on your panel. And this is a subject that we could have gone on a little bit longer, but I understand that you have to go, and I appreciate you letting me a chance to have a say. So I'm gonna be stepping down, and I want to give a shout out to the rest of the panel. A couple of you, I might talk to you in a little bit. Montana, 18, Jose, and Miss Danielle. This is my first time talking to you. I hope you go well. Don't be too mad at me because I know you didn't like what I was saying.
I'm not mad at all.
Okay. So hopefully we can talk again. So KFIT,
Yes.
thanks for letting me on your panel, and I'm stepping out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'll see you soon.
And shout out to the chat too. Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night.
Anyone else want to do some final words? Again, I know other people have streams tonight, and I want to, share the love on all our streams. We're supporting each other, networking, and I appreciate you guys showing me love the way you guys do. So I want everyone to get a chance to say their last piece so we can continue to show everyone's channel love. Anyone else want to speak?
Yeah. I'll speak really quickly. First off, I want to give Danielle a compliment. You got a gorgeous smile, Danielle. And,
thank you.
Second, thank you once again, KFIT, for allowing me to be on your stream. I have a stream going on tonight, guys, where we'll be discussing Black American music and how impactful and influential Black American music have been within American culture. Me and my boy Montana Wax, we're gonna be on there, just gonna be discussing the era. We're gonna be discussing the eras of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, and just childhood songs that you all might have grown up on, songs that you was raised on. Those cookouts.
Should be a lot of fun, y'all. If y'all got a moment, stop by.
Yeah, if you guys got a moment, stop by. I gotta say, shout out to KFIT. Obviously, I miss your workout earlier, KFIT girl. You be getting it in.
Can you drop that in the chat real quick so that I can Yeah.
Sure,
I was gonna ask you
sure.
that too. Drop that in the chat so me and y'all can try to catch that later.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
okay,
gonna be a
guys.
lot of fun, y'all. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You know,
definitely.
you see,
We're
I done
gonna
poured
be
my little cocktail, so you know, I'm gonna be ready.
so yeah, we just gonna be, in there chopping it up about, music that influenced us, the music that we grew up on, and the music of yesteryear that we was raised on by our parents and grandparents. So I'm gonna put that in the chat, guys, and I really do appreciate it. I'm actually about to head over there right now. And once again, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform, KFIT. I really appreciate it. You're a sweetheart. Thank you all so much, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you. No,
You too. It's nice
wow.
talking with you.
All
Nice
right,
talking
Boogie,
to you
I'll
as
meet
well.
you over there if you out of there. But you know, I'm gonna have my closing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got something to say when don't I?
All
You
right,
know.
yeah, we'll meet you over there. Peace.
All right, love, bro.
All right, later, y'all.
Bye.
All right, well, for my closing remarks, I really like this is really one of a very intricate topic, K-Fit. So I don't know where you'll be with my suggestion or whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want to, but like this is something that I believe should have, more than one segment. I don't know if you have a
Did I say that?
oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. I ain't taking your
No,
credit. But
behind
she
the
said
No,
scenes,
behind the
behind
scenes.
the scenes, she was telling
she
me
bought
this.
the step. I licked it. Okay, but I just feel like, seeing that society and everything is evolving at a incredible pace, that we have to prepare for so much, and especially like as a parent, I do as much as I can, to stay abreast and knowledgeable as much as I can, so that my daughters can say, "Hey, Dad," like they can come to me, and I don't have to be the overbearing dad, cleaning the gun every time they got company coming over and stuff like that. I didn't want to be that guy, but um, I would love to be part of it again. I did subscribe to you. So I don't have to, so Ryan got to keep telling me, to join the segments or whatever. Like that's my inside guy. That's my best
Thank
friend in the
you.
world. Since we
Okay.
were, 11, 12 years old. And I'm really blessed, to have that relationship, and everything that comes from it. So you all are an extension of that blessing, as well. So I will handle you all, as such. And thanks for inviting me. I do, have more to say about the topic.
Mhm.
But that's why I was like, man, I hope it's another segment or whatever. But I do know, that structure, is key, to everything. So I just threw that out there. Like, okay, well, the next segment is part two. Like, I'm not asking for no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a realist, at all times. But thank you, for you being you and the structure of it. I'm very familiar with the majority of the people that were here on the panel. And Miss Danielle, pleasure meeting you.
You as
Today.
well.
And from what it sounds like, you're gonna slide over the R. So this isn't our last meeting, but it is
I don't
definitely the first.
I don't see where the thing is in the chat though.
I'll make sure you get. Wait, let me see.
Did I
Okay,
miss it?
you gotta bear with. I'm about to text him right now. I know my friend. You know what I'm saying? His intention's always in the right place, but you might have to give him another 2 minutes. Because he's getting everything together. So I'll stay in until it goes there. If you all have a moment, we'll give them. It says we've been in 1 hour and 8, so let's give it 1:10, and then we'll try to figure it out. But thank you, K-Fit, once again. And I look forward, to the next topic. I'm never let down by the topics in here ever. Damn, did K-Fit leave?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I think so. What is the can you tell it to me now so I could just like text it to myself? Oh, he got kicked out.
Hmm.
Are okay? I'm still here.
Okay,
It might be a
what
part.
is
Okay, I can read it to you.
yes. What is it?
Sorry, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I definitely know it's time to wrap it up. My computer's like,
Yeah,
no.
I'm just trying to get the URL so I could see the stream that he's about to do.
Yeah, definitely drop it in the chat if you could.
Where is it?
Jose, any final closing words? Anything you want to bless us with before we lock it up? I know everyone has to,
Well, well,
do their thing.
well, well. First of all, thank you for allowing me on your platform. I'm not gonna lie. If I was, if I was going to get into a polygamous relationship, I would try to get it with two beautiful chocolate ladies. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that.
Hello.
But oh, seriously, it does. Okay, I'm going to wait until. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
We hear you.
Oh,
I
he
can
can't
hear
hear
you.
us.
Okay. Okay, because it's getting choppy, so therefore, if I stop, I might lose my volume. So that's why I got to keep going. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to this topic, everyone needs to be honest regarding, whether or not, they're into this type of thing. And if you have someone that's not, it's best to just move on, because the last thing you want to do is hide it from your partner, and then your partner finds out, and it can get to be very messy very quickly. So, that being said, I just want to encourage anyone that have not done so, please subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. That being said, I'm going to leave. Thank you, Kfit. Thank you, Daniel. Hopefully, at some point, you will uh, join my platform.
I could have swore I subscribed.
But he means
I'm
like
gonna
he has a show,
oh
like you
just
jump
join
on
you
it.
on me. Oh,
Well, you know what?
absolutely, Jose,
Perhaps you.
whenever. Huh?
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
Jose,
thank you
whenever
very
you want me
much.
on.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Please,
See
by
you
all
later.
means,
Cashel.
the welcome. Good night. Be safe, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Cashel my bell.
Hey.
As always, sis. This was good. This was good.
So I hope you
I
show up
told
for
you
the
part two, right? I,
yes, I hope you're available for the part 2 and part 3 and part 4.
I got you in all the time. All the time I got you.
And feel free to invite your special guests. They can join the platform too if you want. If not, it's all good. Just putting it out
Listen,
there.
you don't want L up here. I'll extend that invitation, but L come up here is gonna get a little deep, deep. They gotta be ready.
Oh
They
Lord.
gotta be ready.
Well, thank you, girl. I appreciate you showing up. I did not want this
Absolutely.
to go this freaking long. Anything you want to drop before I end this? Anything you want to say to the audience, the people still watching?
I just, at the end of the day, all of this is preference. I just wholeheartedly feels like the root of it is from religion, but I don't think anybody should be forced into doing anything they're not comfortable with, tricked into being part of anything that they would not be comfortable with if, they had a choice. But at the same time, I'm not against it because again, I don't care who you sleep with. I'm not sleeping with you. You like it, I love it. Have fun, be safe, don't get killed. I'm just saying, you know. But for me in my house, it's just one and done for me, boo.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that teasing, yo.
Thank you
Shout
for
out to
having me.
everybody. that joined the stream, gave us comments, jewels, and everything. I'm gonna definitely try to catch Rakeem, the 18th letter show right now if I can figure it out.
Another one.
So I'm gonna end this immediately. And thank you for the likes, thank you for the subs, thank you for chiming in the chat in real time, the private chat. This went way better than I expected it to go. So definitely look
Yeah.
forward to the other continuations. Miss Danielle will be here if I can get her. And
Yes, I will.
peace
'Cause
out,
that's
y'all.
my
Have a
sis.
good
I got you.
evening. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so here's my little banner of me saying goodbye. I have like a little closeout screen I like to do. So here it goes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Peace. Peace.